Okay, getting started on this kit, and first things first, I did my usual printing out of the instructions on scale mates, and then went through the paint list, and as I mentioned in the introduction, there are a ton of paints there. And so these are all the ones out of all those, and I still need all these yellow ones. So I am going to run to the store now, see what I can find. I may have to go to a couple of different places. All right, first stop, the hobby shop in my Ace Hardware. I'm gonna look through these and see what I can find. All right, I got almost all of them at Ace. I got 2 left to go, so I'm at Ron's Hobbies, and we'll see what they have. Bingo, that's everything. All right, so this front row is the new stuff, so that is everything in that list, which is crazy. I want to make a quick correction to the last video. This was stuck all the way down on the bottom, and I said it didn't have a decal instruction sheet, but it does. So you can do the kit in 3 different racers liveries. The first is number 9 for N. Aoki. And then the next is the number 10 for Kenny Roberts Jr., and I'll come back to that in a second. And then the last is number 16 for Kagayama. So having done the Kenny Roberts Sr. bike, that number 1 Yamaha there, it would only make sense that I would do his son's bike, Kenny Roberts Jr.'s bike, for this build. And I believe Tim's doing the same one. So I guess we'll be building the kit in the same livery. So I've gone through and written down all the colors on all the parts on all the instructions. So now I've been through the instructions once, I kind of understand what's going on. So now I will, put these up on the wall and then start cutting out all the parts and sorting them by color. All right, quick update here. I've been working my way through all of the assemblies, cutting out the parts as I go along, and then, crossing them off. So now I've got everything cut out and the basic sub-assemblies done, as well as all these seams. And I think I've got all of those pretty well now. Through my process on that, and hopefully have these pretty clean now. You can see all my sanding sticks and everything there. A couple things I want to point out. You'll see there's this extra piece here, which would go on there, and then on the seat, it's 2 pieces, and where is it? You cut this this extra piece out of there because on the instructions there's A, B, and C. And for A is the Kenny Roberts bike, and it has that little hump there, whereas the other bike doesn't. And then on the Aoki bike, it has this extra piece here on the gas tank. So this piece gets set aside, this piece gets cut out of that seat, and then that little hump gets added on there. The other thing is that I'm not going to strip these pieces. I've decided they're in really good shape. I like this chrome. It's actually pretty tough and holds up pretty well. So I'm going to just paint the spots there that need to be painted. But everything else, all the other chrome parts, for instance, these forks obviously had seam marks that had to be cleaned up, so on and so forth. Pretty much all the rest of the chrome I am going to strip. So what else? Oh, these exhausts. So they have these parts that go on the back to close them up. So I cleaned those up as best I could, but I didn't want to obliterate, the lines going across or those humps, because I'm going to call those out with some masking later. But I think I have those pretty well. So I think that's pretty much it. I think next will be, stripping and priming and getting into painting. So I think this is probably a good place to stop. I emailed with Tim earlier, and he's about at the same spot or getting there, although taking a slightly different path. So we're closing in on getting ready for paint. So as always, hope you found that interesting. Thanks for watching, and happy modeling.